Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm bringing you another Q&A for the first week of April. Okay, so this question's from Dragon. What do you think of this picture? This is really funny. I mean, it looks really weird. I think that's Toyotaro. Can't make out whose face this is, but that's a Toei Animation sign. This is really funny. They're literally making, like, Toei Animation's making him look like slaves, and here's like a dead Goku because he's gone. That's a funny picture. Alright, Farhan Elizabeth wants to know, I know this sounds crazy, but what if Boo absorbed Master Roshi? Would he be able to turn people into chocolate or just rape them? If Boo absorbed Master Roshi, he wouldn't get that much of a power increase, but I definitely think it would have an effect on his personality. Instead of liking chocolate, I'm pretty sure he'd like other things. Devil wants to know, why couldn't any of the Cell Juniors regenerate like Perfect Cell? Would Gohan kick them into half? I actually made a video about this, Devil. You should check out one of my Thought for Talk episodes on the Cell Juniors. I'll probably put that in my outro so you can check it out. I went in depth about that. That's something I've always wondered. Wants to know how strong I think Time Patrol Trunks is? I mean, it's pretty implied that Time Patrol Trunks is virtually Future Trunks, just using a time machine for another purpose. So I would say he's the same as Future Trunks. It's probably not Super Saiyan 2. Do your insides tear apart after eating Taco Bell? Not really. I like Taco Bell. It's one of my favorite fast food restaurants. And let's see, moved on to Charles Wright. I'm trying to make it fair to answer everybody's questions here. Who do you think will win Captain America Civil War Captain America team or Iron Man's? I was talking to Duct Tape about this, and he said because of Iron Man's leadership, he gives the edge to Iron Man. He knows more about comics than I do, so I'm gonna have to agree with Duct Tape on that notion. Ivan wants to know, if Cell was basically an android, or that's what they referred to him at least, would an EMP grenade take him out? No, I don't think so, because Cell is an android in the sense that he was biologically, created by Dr. Gero and his computer, but he's not. Cell is like a complete biological organism, so like an EMP wouldn't really have an effect on him. Cell is completely different from the other androids. And 17 and 18 were originally humans that just got modified. Super Saiyan Forever wants to know, what are 3 Dragon Ball Z games you enjoyed playing? Off the top of my head, Xenoverse, Budokai 1, and Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Those are my top 3 Dragon Ball games of all time. Epically Titan wants to know, when it comes down to skills alone, excluding Planet Destructive movies, which movie character would win in a fight? Okay, I mean, if I'm just gonna go with movie characters, I mean, Beerus and Whis would be stronger than everybody else. I mean, because they were technically in a movie. So I'm gonna have to go with Beerus and Whis. If you don't want to include like Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, I would probably have to go with Janemba because of his whole like warping dimensions abilities and stuff. I think that could give a lot of opponents a big problem. So I would go with Janemba in the original movies, and if you go with Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F, I would go with Beerus and Whis. Obviously Whis because he's stronger. Kesley Tate Williams wants to know, who do you think would have happened in the series if Vegeta became a Super Saiyan on Namek as opposed to Goku? I actually made a video about this too, so I already figured out which videos I'm going to put in my outro. Here's the thing, guys. I'm a type of guy who gets a lot of questions, so if I already answered this question in depth with a much richer answer than like, a 20-30 second response I can do on Ask FM, go check out the video because it's a much better response than I can give in an Ask FM. So that's why I just say watch the video, because it really honestly gives you a better response. Tyler wants to know, if Beerus had a dad, then how strong will he be? If GT was canon, then how mad will you be? I don't really care about the whole GT canon debate, because really honestly, even if you don't call it canon, it was intended to be a continuation of the series, whether people like it or not. And I am, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I've always been a believer that the whole reason, and you guys know this is true, you guys know this is 100% true, if GT was better than it was, more people would have accepted it as canon. Let's say Dragon Ball GT was a significantly better show than Ball and Z were. I'm not saying it would be canon, but more people would be more inclined to claim it as canon. The reason it isn't is because people don't like it. And in terms of Beerus's dad, I mean, I would assume Beerus's dad might be stronger, but I mean, that's kind of a little too hypothetical. Why did Piccolo get defeated by Chopsticks? Because Duct Tape is a fucking asshole that trolled me on one of my streams and created this whole chopstick meme about my channel that will never go away. Why did Gohan stop using the Masenko? Is it a weaker move than the Kamehameha? If so, why doesn't he have his own signature move? Well, the honest reason is it's not like it's a weaker move. In my opinion, I don't think that Dragon Ball's a show where like one move is just definitively better than another one. The way I've always looked at it is, yeah, some might have more power, but it's all about the power that's in it. For example, Vegeta could shoot a Final Flash and Goku can shoot a Kamehameha and it would be equal. But if Vegeta shoots a Gallic Gun and Goku shoots a Kamehameha, it would be equal. It's not about the attack, it's about how much power the user's putting into it. Who do you think is most likely to die on Walking Dead? Well, here's the thing. Spoiler alert, Glenn died in the comic books in the exact same scene. I just think it would be really weird if they did the exact same thing that they did in the comics, but I have a theory that the whole reason why they made that whole death a cliffhanger was because of the fact that they needed to create some hype for Glenn's death, and if they just killed him off the way they did in the actual comic books, it wouldn't really, accomplish anything, which is why I personally think that that's the reason why they did it. I think it has to be Glenn. And the next two questions, what would you like the next Dragon Ball Super arc to be about? Honestly, man, I just want them to go into new universes and explore new villains. That's really what I want to see. They didn't create all of these universes, in my opinion, not to go into it. And Michael wants to know, favorite Star Wars movie in order from best to worst. My favorite would have to be episode 5. My second favorite would be episode 6. My third favorite would be episode 7 because I did see episode 7. My fourth favorite would ironically be episode 4. My fifth favorite would probably be episode 3. My sixth favorite would be episode 1. And my last would be Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. I really didn't like episode 2 that much. Alrighty, welcome back to my Ask FM portion of the day. The first question comes in. Do you think dad caps are really making a comeback? Don't know what that is, so I really don't know how to answer that. I want to ask some specific question about Piccolo. Since Piccolo is Namekian and Namekians don't need sex in order to have a child, do you think that Piccolo might have a child in the near future? I mean, I've always wondered, why didn't Piccolo have a kid? There's no answer to it, it's really writing, but it would be interesting if Piccolo actually did have a child. Okay, let's see. What is your favorite episode of the Baby Saga of Dragon Ball GT? Oh, man, I mean, I don't remember the episode by name, but I think my favorite episode would probably have to be when Goku first would be the episode when he goes Super Saiyan 4 and he just starts kicking Baby's ass. I think that would probably be my favorite. And this is before Baby Vegeta went into his grade 8 form. Okay, I think the white-haired villain Toriyama talked about is Vados. She would be the first major female villain. No, I don't see why Vados would be a villain. I mean, Whis' race isn't looked at as like bad guys. They just assist the gods of destruction. I can't see Vados being a villain. I really can't. Hey, Qaaman, did you see the Walking Dead finale? If so, what are your thoughts? Yes, I did see it. I think that, it's a bummer. I knew that it was going to happen because it was leaked that cliffhanger was going to happen. And then, quite honestly, it kind of sucks that you got to wait all these months to find out who they killed. But honestly, they're trying to create suspense, and they definitely did it because I'm seeing an insane amount of fan theories on who they think, got killed. Can Cell use the Spirit Bomb? Yes, and actually, this is an interesting question. I do think Cell can use the Spirit Bomb, and the reason why is because I remember specifically because I was doing a what-if discussion about, what if Piccolo had killed Imperfect Cell. Please check out that what-if video, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it. In it, Cell was talking, when Krillin and Trunks showed up saying, oh, no, he was talking to Piccolo about his moves. It was before that. And he was talking to Piccolo after he shot his Kamehameha, and he was talking about, oh, yes, and I have a lot more moves I can use too, such as the Genki Dama. And for those of you who don't know, the Genki Dama is like the original name for like the Spirit Bomb. So yes, Cell basically said that he could use a Spirit Bomb if he wanted to. So yeah, Cell can use a Spirit Bomb. It's kind of weird because the whole Pure Heart thing, but Cell can definitely use a Spirit Bomb. Who is the strongest character Supreme Kai not fused with Kibito could beat? I think he could beat Perfect Cell, but not Super Perfect Cell. And I've had a lot of conversations with Dragon Ball Nation about this. I think that... Man, these are two good questions here. I think that the reason why I would say he could beat Perfect Cell is because of the fact that, number one, he did tank a very powerful move from Majin Buu, you know, when he should have been dead. The Supreme Kai did have the ability to restrain a Super Saiyan 2, and he was contemplating whether or not he would have been able to do so. And even though we've never really seen him in a proper fight, it was pretty much implied by how Piccolo was talking in the tournament about how strong he was. I mean, Piccolo was, yes, Piccolo also felt that, you know, the Supreme Kai was like on a godly tear, but he was still mesmerized by his power. So I would think if Piccolo was that mesmerized by his power, the Supreme Kai has to at least be stronger than regular Perfect Cell, because by this point, you know, Piccolo has to be at least somewhat close to regular Perfect Cell, you know, before he went Super Perfect Cell. I did a whole video explaining that too. So because of that, I would have to think that at the max, he could probably beat regular Perfect Cell. That might be my feature question. I don't know. Okay. How do you think the series would continue if Gotenks killed Super Buu? I personally think if Gotenks killed Super Buu, I mean, he'd be bored because he killed him fast, but I mean, if he killed him early in the hyperbolic time chamber, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have died and they could have just brought people back to life. The only thing though is Vegeta might still stay dead, but you never know. They might ad-lib the story for whatever purposes, but I definitely think if Gotenks killed Super Buu, that would basically just clean up the series. And for the final question, I'll take these final three because this third one here is interesting. What if Goku had never fallen off Snake Way? How much stronger do you think he would have become? Well, the whole thing about him falling off Snake Way was filler, so that really wouldn't have changed the series at all, because in the manga he never fell off of Snake Way. How long do you think it will be before physical media CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays are die completely and are replaced by digital releases? I don't think they'll ever be replaced, because people still will always have like a want to like have like a physical thing that they could show on TV. So I think that, you know, if they do die out, it would be many years, because there's a lot of people out there who do like physical things, and there's a lot of, you know, people who are older, you know, who like old school stuff. And the last question is, do you ever want to have children? I'm very young, even though people in my age are starting to have kids. I mean, yeah, I guess I would want kids in the future, but honestly, right now at my point in life, I'm not even thinking about kids. And honestly, right now, I don't think I'd make a very good parent, because I don't think I have what it takes to be a parent right now. You know, I just don't think so. I think I have to live more life before I feel more comfortable having kids and having, you know, a lot more experiences in that factor. So that pretty much sums up all of my questions for today. I hope you guys like this Q&A segment, and please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.